Hi, my name is Ndubozo Moses, and you are welcome to my craft.
So I'm curious to know what brought you to Abuja or let's say Nasarawa.
Okay, so I finished in Osaka 2018, and I was there before and I relocated to this place. But the main thing that brought me to this place is opportunity, because there in Osaka we do have like art exhibitions, but it is once in a blue moon, especially the Lights of Life in my city, and then the ones we have in the university. So, but then Abuja and Lagos, they have multiple galleries in these places, and also they have exhibitions constantly. And the nature of my work requires such an environment. So, which is the main reason why I have to relocate to this place.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey into art? What first pulled you in?
Okay. I actually didn't do art when I was little. I never knew I would be an artist when I was a child. So, but when I was in secondary school, I started drawing in my class then. But then, while I was graduating from secondary school, that's when I decided that, okay, that was the day I went to Access Bank, actually, in Bayelsa State. That's where I schooled. And I saw a painting on the wall. That painting was, oh my goodness, the thing just captured my attention and everything, to the extent that I had to go and I was serving somebody there. I was doing business. So I have to go and tell my August friends that anytime they want to go and put money in Access Bank, they should plead with my August so that they will send me to go there just to go and see that painting. So I do go there. Sometimes I'll try to replicate that particular painting. So that was the moment I decided that is what I'm going to do in particular, this particular painting aspect. So from there, I started drawing constantly and started looking for like what it takes to be an artist. I started reading all those certificate arts before I now wrote jump to the university to study arts.
Okay, so I was going to ask if you got any pushback from your parents about studying arts in the university.
Okay, my parents, especially my dad, is a kind of person that when you tell him that you want to do something, he won't just tell you no. He'll go and ask questions because he's not learned. So he do more of asking questions and he prefers handwork to going to study any other thing. Then at the end of the day, you start looking for a job. So when he made inquiry and they told him that when you study arts, it's actually a handwork. So you don't necessarily need to go and look for a job. So he now gave me the green light that I can go ahead to study it.
Okay, that's good. That means you got support from your family
Yes.
into going to art. That's not something that a lot of people get. So how has your background, culture, or upbringing shaped the way you create?
It has affected me because most of my work, I tell stories of my life experiences. So just like if you see my paintings, you see that they have this kind of woven effect in the work. And then the figures, they are elongated. So that's actually because I left my parents very early when I finished primary school to go and serve someone. So there, I lacked freedom and I lacked freedom and I went through so many things in that particular situation. So leaving that particular place in I went there 2007 and I left there 2014 when I gained admission to the university. So it was from there to school to Abuja here. So my work now, sir, after that particular experience is when I came here, I used to face trauma once in a while because of the experience there. So my work, I decided to express those freedoms. Some of those things I missed while growing up, I decided to express them in my work. So seeing them gave me this kind of fulfillment that and also remind me that yes, now I am free. I'm no more under someone. So that particular upbringing has affected my art.
Sorry about the
No.
experience, negative experiences. So, I noticed that with your work, the portraits have very large eyes. So, can you explain where that comes from? Because you mentioned that you create to express the trauma that you went through.
Yeah.
So, can you like talk about what the eyes symbolize for you?
Okay, the eyes for me are like being watchful, you knowing what is happening. It's just like an awareness. So that's why I made them big. So because I do have this most times if I most of the people that I've been with, especially while growing up, they have this kind of mindset that I don't usually observe what is happening and all those kind of things. Meanwhile, I know the thing is that I'm not much of a rowdy and all this too much of a talking person. So I do more of observing. You understand? So instead of me coming to announce to everybody that yes, so I noticed this, I noticed this, I noticed this, I decided to put them in my work so that you know that okay, these eyes are actually watchful. They know what is happening, even if they decide not to speak, but they know. And all the experiences that I've gone through, the eye is aware of everything.
Okay, so do you consider yourself an African artist or simply an artist who happens to be African?
Do I consider myself an African artist or an artist who happens to be African? I'm an African artist because I'm from Africa.
Yeah.
That's number one. So I didn't just find myself in Africa by mistake. You understand? So I'm an African artist.
Okay. So could you walk us through your creative process? What does it look like from an idea to a finished piece?
Okay, some of my ideas they just come like flash most times. So what I do is I used to document them. I sketch them. Can I show you? When those ideas come, I do sketch them down. Just a light sketch. Some of these ideas I've not yet done them. This particular one is this work. This one is that work over there. So and this, I'm yet to do some of all these ones. This one is in exhibition in. Then there's this one. Just like this particular work is a new body of work I'm creating. It's about achievement. When you achieve something, trying to say that many people go through different phases to achieve something. So the work, they are still work in progress. They have this element of sweat to tell you that even when you arrive, there is a story behind what you've gone through. Just like now, for example, once I make it, many people will not know that there was a time I was suffering. So that is the idea behind this and this particular work. So they might look good, we might look good. You might see somebody that is looking very good. This person is very okay, but the person has a story. So when those ideas come, I document them. Then I make researches on those particular ideas, adding with my own experiences. Then I bring them to life. So, but in terms of processes, my work comes in different phases. From the empty canvas, I texture my canvases before I start. So after that, then I prime, sketch, and then start painting.
So, are there any particular materials, symbols, like the eyes, or recurring elements that you are drawn to work with?
Yes, in terms of recurring elements, like the figures, you see that my figures are quite different from the regular kind of figures. So as well as in terms of materials, I do experiment, I do explore. Recently, I'm working with newspaper mixed media. Some of these things you see here, they are newspaper mixed media. So, but then at the same time, while I'm working, I'm trying to bring in something new. I might be working and then one idea will be like, oh, try this particular thing, then I'll try it. Sometimes I mess them up and then I'll still have to rework it on that particular thing. So, but the recurring elements are the figures themselves, how they look, this weaving pattern that is on all the works.
Yes.
So those are the recurring elements in the works.
Okay. So, you mentioned that you studied arts in university.
Yes.
So, do you think that training has helped your career?
Yes, very, very well. Because when I go back and see my drawings before I entered university, I do laugh. And the people that know me then, when they see my work now, most times they write to me, they will be like, that's I've grown so fast within a short period of time. That's judging from someone who doesn't know have any background in arts, who didn't do art while growing up. So that's because of the school. There is this kind of pressure that the school put in you when you are in school. And then starting from my first year, in my class, most of my colleagues were much ahead of me when I entered in the first year. And I noticed that based on where I grew up, I didn't have idea about some. When they give us assignments in school, first of all, I don't used to understand the assignments, the materials, everything they were mentioning were just strange. So I have to go and make so many researches. The school gave me the opportunity to go and make researches and then practice as well because you don't have to become last in class. it's somehow when everybody is submitting their assignment and then you are the one that your work is looking behind. So that particular pressure in school and some of those assignments, they helped me a lot because within those 4 years, even me, I'm surprised at my own growth. And after that, still some of those principles I learned in school, they have still been guiding me till this day.
So do you think that it would be possible for you to achieve any like the success that you have right now if you did not go to school, if you were a self-taught artist?
It's a two-way thing. There is a possibility that I will still achieve it if I didn't go to school. There is a possibility. But there is an awareness I have that if I didn't go to school, I won't have that awareness.
So do you have a specific piece that feels especially personal or significant to you?
Almost all my pieces feel personal to me. The reasons is because I don't just develop the idea and I'll create it. Almost all the ideas are being related, especially to my story, because most of my works are circulating around hope, around determination, around succeeding. So they are basically telling my stories. Just like this particular one, some of them are like prophecy. These ones, the work is still in progress, but then, just like I said earlier, you will be at a particular stage and people will be like, your life is soft and every other thing. But they didn't know your story until they come close to you. So I do put most of those things I've gone through, I do put them in my works. So each work I'm seeing is telling a different story and all of them are related.
What has your experience been navigating the art market in Abuja since you moved here?
It's it's a learning process. I will not say it's difficult, but it's difficult. But it's a learning process because I believe in learning and I believe that some learning some certain things are actually quite difficult because this is not actually what I do initially when I graduated from school. I used to paint very realistic works and all those things, but I switched to this particular style when I came to this Abuja. So it's been difficult, especially people accepting my work because it's something new that they've not seen before.
Yes.
So I have to do extra work, and I don't see it as a difficult thing, or like I just see it as a work as the process of achieving something.
How do platforms like social media or galleries shape the work that the way your work is received?
So first of all, social media is very very important. Like I'm very very grateful for social media. If not for social media, many people wouldn't have known my work. So social media is very very important because there are some people that have visited me through social media, and most of some of the exhibition I've gotten outside is still through social media, through me posting my work and then people seeing it and then they'll just write to me that they like this particular piece or they want to connect and they want to come visit. And galleries has been very very important as well because in the art world it's quite difficult to do without galleries because they help your work. And then there are some clients that if they want to acquire your work, they will first of all check your history, whether you work with any gallery. That's for trust, for credibility. So those galleries actually help a lot.
Could you talk to us about like any challenges that you faced with your art?
The most number one challenge is finance because producing a work of art costs a lot of money to produce. And someone like me, I'm a full-time artist, so I work every day. And those work require materials because starting from acquiring paints, getting a primer, getting even the wood itself that you use, getting canvas, like everything requires money. Even when you are done with the work, being on social media also requires money. So the first challenge is finance. That's the first and the major challenge.
So have you been able to like face the challenges or
Uh,
deal
it's
with it?
it's something that should I say you deal with it for almost the rest of your life because at every stage you have to advance at every
Yes.
stage and you meet new challenges. So me, I don't like seeing those things as problem because I don't allow it to stop me. Rather, it's helped me to plan myself ahead. So once I make a sale, what I do is I used to plan ahead. Acquire more material so that in case this particular thing, let me say at this particular period, I don't want to be in a situation whereby I will not have material to work or I will not have food to eat. So I plan ahead.
Could you tell me about a moment in your career that felt like a turning point?
That's when, like this, my works. I told you I switched from
Yes.
realistic paintings to this particular kind of paintings. And this is not how I started. So this is a product of growth. When I started, like I was just kind of experimenting. I would try this thing, and I was facing difficult situations. Some people would just be like, "You don't know how to work anymore. What is happening?" And all those things. I lost many friends. Like some people that actually liked my work then. Some of them even unfollowed me on social media. That they don't understand what I'm doing anymore. So, but I kept my cool because I had a vision, and me myself, I didn't know what I'm going to produce at the end. But I know that yes, I'm following a particular road. So I kept on practicing, kept on bringing new ideas into the work. Whatever strikes me, I bring them in. And if you check my works, you'll notice that there is difference between, okay, this work, I did it last year. When you look at this work, look at the facial features, you discover this difference with these particular ones that I'm working on currently. So I keep on learning and keep on improving. And when I produce this particular works, I have people that critique my work. So what I do is if I work, I will snap the work. Those people, they tell me the truth. They don't sugarcoat anything because they want me to grow. So I send them the works. They will go through it and they will tell me, this work is not yet. There is something. Some of them will be like, okay, work on this side, work on this side. But the moment I snapped, there was a particular period when I finished this. Okay, these works that are here, there are a set of works that are here. When I finished them and I snapped them and I sent it to all those people, all of them were like, yeah, this is good that you started painting. So that moment, that day, I slept so well that day. So it was like, yes, finally, finally. And when I started sharing these recent works, like people have been accepting it, which is a very good, like it's like a very big turning point for me.
What does success look like for you? Besides that, what does success look like for you as an artist?
As an artist, what success look like for me is me having my works being exhibited in some notable galleries around the world, me having people collect my works in different places. I've been to some places that I will see my work hanging there, and then somebody might be talking and be using my work as an example to me. It feels so good, even though the person doesn't even know me. You understand? So that is an accomplishment. You seeing people like being interested in what you create. Because when I create, I don't create with the mindset that okay, I don't know who is going to acquire a particular work. So it's just like a game of fate. I just create believing that somebody will see this work and appreciate it. So once the work connects with anyone and then the person is willing to acquire it, to me it's a success.